read all of the plan that the president has, Jackie.
Yes.
You know, the health care plan, all that stuff, 2,000 pages long.
Yes.
But today the president and his party put out a 20-page plan that you can read, and I understand those will also be in the mail, and they will also be giving them out on the campaign trail over the next 2 weeks. 20 pages, something you can really read and understand, since MITT is adopting all of the president's ideas. I agree with that. But I didn't agree. I didn't disagree with. I've agreed with you all along. And the president's looking like, what? Motherfucker, what?
The president was ready for him this time, though.
He was ready for him, Jackie. I have another Facebook tweet. It was too funny, Jackie. It says they got Barack Obama standing over Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is knocked out with stars going around his head, and the ring announcer or the referee has on his chest Fox News Channel. Mm-hmm. Mitt Romney is laying on the mat. Barack standing over him, and he grabs Mitt Romney's arms and said, "The winner is." They got some funny tweets. They were on fire last night, and I grabbed a can of peanuts and said, "Republicans, fancy mixed nuts." That's what the can says, fancy mixed nuts, and I said the Republicans, Willard Romney and Paul Ryan. No peanuts, just fancy mixed nuts.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing that is really interesting, I also came across something else in the news today that I found interesting. You know, David Plouffe and David Axelrod, the guys that run President Obama's campaign.
Yes.
Are really, you know, I mean, these guys are political operatives of these boys have rewritten the book.
Okay, Jackie.
In a lot of ways. And one of the things that Plouffe and Axelrod said today on their conference call with the press was very interesting.
What they said?
They said was that we know what we know. We know what the polls are saying in the swing states. We know what's going on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And they know the same thing that we know.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not worried.
We're not worried.
And then the other thing that, what is this woman's name? I really like her because she is another Democratic operative.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see her face, but I can't call her name. But the thing that she said that I found very interesting is that the Republicans are working off of bad numbers, which of course isn't surprising because Republicans can't count. We know this.
No, they can't count.
But she said that what they are hoping for is for there to be a lower turnout among Latinos and blacks than there was last time. But what she pointed out is that there are more blacks and Latinos in the country than there were last time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're just if they're counting on depressed turnout, they may be in for a surprise, because even if the turnout is depressed because there are more of us.
Mm-hmm. And because their voter suppression didn't work out as like they wanted it to.
Yeah, well, they're still working that now, and I have a story about that tonight as well.
Very good.
But yeah, you know, that is really interesting. And I was thinking to myself, the woman's name is Karen Finney, that's it.
Oh, yes, I love Karen Finney.
And I was thinking to myself, you know, Karen, that just can't be right, because surely they have accounted for that. Brenda?
Yes, I hear you.
Look, these people are professionals, okay?
Yes.
Surely they accounted for that.
Jackie, I have no idea.
Brenda's like, I'm not going to put any money on that.
Okay, no, because, you know, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a campaign like this in my life. The hatred, you know, we never had to worry about this kind of hatred coming out, because Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton never had a chance at, you know, winning the nomination for the Democratic Party, let alone the White House.
Yes.
So they didn't show their hatred like they did. And with Barack surprising them with the greatest campaign ever run in presidential campaign history.
Yes, they did a fine job.
Yes,
but
Jackie.
Listen, the Republicans should have known when Obama beat Hillary Clinton.
Jackie, that was
all the bells and whistles should have gone all the way off for those guys.
That was a
they should have known that he was for real.
That was a pretty damn good sign, wasn't it, Jackie?
Yeah, that is.
And even a bunch of yokels like us knew that. I think
a lot of people don't realize what a monumental task that was.
It was huge.
Yes, it was.
It was bigger than huge.
Yeah.
It was an amazing feat. And so now, they started right after that saying he doesn't know anything, a community organizer, a law professor. You can say what you want, but everybody recognized that as just hater material.
Yes.
Because everybody knows that this man and the people that he has surrounded himself with is nobody's fool. These boys know this game, Jackie, inside and out.
Yes.
And it shows with them having over 60 some offices, campaign offices over Ohio and Florida, the battleground states. They knew this shit 4 years ago.
Yes.
He never closed his campaign offices in Iowa, Ohio.
No.
They've been running.
Yes.
For this election. He never stopped running.
No.
They never closed. And here Mitt Romney has something like 13 spots in Ohio. He might as well get his ass somewhere and sit down, because those Ohio boys ain't forgot his ass.
No, well, the other
and neither has Detroit.
He believes, what the Republicans believe is that their money will carry them. They have so much money, they believe that money.
That's what they thought, Jackie. But I think they're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah. Well, Brenda, that all we can do is what we do and vote. We gotta
That's
get
right.
out and vote.
Got to get out and vote.
Yeah, but that's what they're hoping, is that their money will carry them.
And I've had some black people say, does he think that he's gonna get the black vote just that easy? Yes, he is. He ain't got to work for us. He ain't got to work. He ain't got to set up no offices here for black folks around the country.
Yes.
We got your back, Mr. President. We understand racism and hatred when we see it.
Yes.
And I don't give a shit how many times they tell us we brainwashed. No, we're not. But if that makes you feel better, go on with it. Go head on, dog.
Oh, yeah, well, just like when George Will said that the only reason that, people are still willing to support President Obama is because the country is loath to fire a black guy.
Oh, yeah, they're ashamed, they're afraid.
What's really funny about that is I guess George hadn't heard that last hired, first fired thing.
Listen, the president had to work for this vote. Now,
And he's still working for it.
And he's still working for it.
So
Mitt Romney, what did he do, Jackie, after
I saw some sound today from one of his campaign events. And I absolutely love that he goes out there, he makes his pitch, and he asks
for your vote again.
That's right.
And Jackie, yes, okay, so he might have it a little easier in the black community because we understand and we recognize that this man is good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good president, and he just doesn't care for black people. He cares for the nation.
Yes.
He doesn't care what color you are. He feels us. And
well, not only that though, Brenda. After that debate last night, anyone who is not really afraid of Mitt Romney being in the White House, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, something's wrong with you. I mean, definitely. They had a what do they call their little committee of people?
A focus group.
Yes, last night, and he asked who all believes that Mitt Romney, and there's about 12 people in the room, and he asked who all believes that Mitt Romney or lost the debate or President Obama won. When he said President Obama won, everybody's hand in the room went up.
Yes.
Yeah, he won. He looked strong. And then you had this black woman sitting there.
Yes.
But he hasn't won my vote yet. I'm still waiting. Mitt Romney looked convincing. And then you had a white woman. I've got 2 more weeks. I'm still making up my mind. What does he have to say about you? Does he have to walk up and punch you in your motherfucking mouth?
Hey, B, come on now, B. That's
Sorry.
not nice.
I mean, you've heard him, like the president said last week, Jackie. That wasn't what he said behind closed doors. Now he's telling you, I care about 100% of you. I care about your children.
Oh, yeah.
But behind closed doors, you said 47% of us thinks that we're entitled for food, rent, you name it.
We're entitled to food, housing. Well, you know,
you name it. I'll never convince them to take personal responsibility for their lives. Now, Dr. Pete Peterson, one of our Black Republicans that was on the show, we asked him what did he have against the president. I hate his motherfucking guts. Why? Has your finances and stuff decreased? Have you been having a really hard time in the economy? No, I'm doing just fine in the economy. So why do you hate him? He ain't done a damn thing for black people. And I say right here again, what was he supposed to do for us that he wasn't supposed to do for the nation and the middle class and the lower class people? The black folks don't hold no we don't hold the award for being the poorest in the country.
No, we don't. But if you listen to what some of these folks say, you would think we do, wouldn't you, be?
Yeah, you know, we the only ones getting food stamps and all that shit.
Yeah.
And he says when he took
the only one struggling,
when the president took office, there was 32 million people on food stamps. Now it's 47. So all you white men before that, put them on there.
Yeah, and not only that,
and I don't mean it like that in a racist way.
I talked about why
yes
the numbers have increased.
Yes, tell us again,
and,
Jackie.
The thing about it is that okay, I'm sorry, you want me to say it again?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course it was because the economy was bad and people were losing their jobs, but it was also because the president expanded the expanded food stamp coverage or eligibility, for more Americans.
So folks could eat. People lost their homes, their jobs, and the reason more folks were on food stamp is because Bush and the Republicans put their asses on it.
Yes. And
it wasn't Barack.
Also because, but President Obama, he did his part because there were a lot of people who were struggling and,
and he saw fit to have a heart and be human and open up the doors a little more, be a little more lenient.
The same thing that he did with Medicaid because so many people were losing.
Yeah, that old health care act. Yeah, so old regular Joes don't have to sit up and suffer. You know, Jackie, this abortion thing they're going all off on. Well, we understand because what you're going to do is send your daughters to Europe for an abortion.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to do what they used to do back in the 50s.
That's right. Send them to live with Uncle Joe for the summer.
Yes.
And give the baby away.
Yes, or they're going to be going to finishing school in Switzerland.
But Jackie, I will never figure the Republicans out. Not ever. I mean, and Mitt Romney, welcome to the chat room. Dave the Rave, Tony R. Dave says they got my boo already upset. Yes, they do, Dave. Because it is amazing to me. And I've never felt the need to fight like I'm fighting now. I mean, I am literally working for Obama.
Yes.
All night long.
Yes.
You know, telling folks to vote. And thank God I convinced 2 people that were not registered in my family to vote. Thank God they got it. And Obama has said this over and over again. Talk to your family, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. You'd be surprised. I mean, our family, anybody in there would think about not voting? I was shocked, but I convinced her in a New York second, I'll kick your ass if you don't vote. How about that? Some of a bitch. Okay, Jackie.
I believe that's called voter intimidation.
Yeah, well, hell, I'm allowed to intimidate family, goddamn it.
I believe that's something illegal.
Yes,
that's
it is.
Voter intimidation.
Well, Jackie, I can't believe already that it is the half-hour mark because we got so much to talk about. This leaves us an hour and a half. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to have my son, Dennis, good black